It is time for another action figure review, and today we're taking a very quick look at Frodo and Gollum from The Lord of the Rings, brought to us by none other than SH Figuarts. I didn't pre-order this. I was excited when these figures were announced because I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, but budget constraints and whatnot, and seeing as how the market has been over the past few years, I decided to wait and see what the prices were going to look like when, you know, time has passed somehow. I mean, these are pretty recent releases, but you never know what could happen in a week or two upon release. And prices do tend to change. Sometimes they go up, sometimes they go down, and a lot of times, and I've seen a lot of figures lately that I've been eyeing on that end up being sold at a discount, and so that's kind of what happened here. I'm not saying that these figures were bound to fail. If anything, there's a huge gap to fill in terms of LOTR figures, because these characters are nostalgic, and a lot of people have been praying for someone to finally give us premium grade, highly articulated, super detailed figures of, you know, the heroes of Middle Earth. And finally, we have them now. I mean, at least you got Frodo, and you also have Aragorn in the same wave. I think both of them are released within the same quarter, at least. Okay, let's take a very quick look at the box, and I think they handled this pretty well. The presentation is really nice. I kind of took out all of the contents already, and this figure does have a defect, so I'm getting a replacement, obviously, but I wanted to do this now rather than later. So yeah, it screams Lord of the Rings. I don't know what else to say. It looks really good. Some nice product shots on the front, some printed text on the window itself, and you know, the signature Lord of the Rings font. Yeah, some more product shots on both sides. I mean, on this side we've got Gollum, the other side it's Frodo, and yeah, and an overlay of product shots on the back, with the background being a very nice map of Middle Earth. So yeah, we've got Aragorn. I do have Aragorn, and I'll be reviewing next, I think. But yeah, what I'm saying is it's got a big window that lets you see everything that you need to see inside. So yeah, now here's the issue with this figure. He's got a broken ankle joint, and yeah, he was kind of floppy. I mean, this was kind of floppy when I took him out of the box, and then kind of adjusted it, and then it just broke. And so yeah, we're gonna have to do without his left foot throughout the extent of this review. I'm just gonna put this on to balance him whenever I'm standing him up, but otherwise, yeah. Let's take a very quick look at Frodo. Initial impressions, I think it looks really good. He looks really good. While they didn't really manage to capture the entire likeness of Elijah Wood as Frodo, I think that they managed to do a very good job. I mean, it's close enough, and the sculpt work on the face is really nice, and I like his head of hair. Frodo has a curly brown hair, and this one leans more towards his hair being illuminated by the sunlight, so it's got a golden brown color, almost like copper. But yeah, very nice paintwork on the hairpiece, and they kind of separated the lower hairpiece and the upper. I don't think that's really to extend the range of movement, but it's more about preventing collectors from breaking the lower part of the headpiece. So they kind of took initiative and just cut that up, but they did so gracefully that you wouldn't really mind it. It does allow for some adjustment posing as well, so yeah, I guess it kind of helps a little bit with the articulation. But yeah, very nice head sculpt, blue eyes, and yeah, it's mostly accurate if you ask me. I didn't really bother looking him up. You know, I'm just going by how I remember him, and I think that he is, you know, if memory serves, accurate enough. So yeah, the proportions look really nice, and I love the overlays here. I mean, we've got this jacket piece. It's mostly made of soft rubbery material, so it's not really going to get in the way of articulation. Maybe somehow it could be bothersome, but you know, it's good enough for me. And yeah, no, I don't really think that's going to get in the way of articulation. Okay, so scratch that. Yeah, I do love the materials they used. He feels substantial for me. He does feel like a premium action figure, aside from the fact that he's got a broken ankle joint, so that's a bummer, but I can live with it. Granted that Shopee was nice enough to issue a refund or a return and refund, you know, kind of resolutions. I wanted to get just a replacement of Frodo, but I'm gonna have to reorder him from the same seller. You know, yada yada. Anyway, yeah. Wait, where was I again? Yeah, I think that the proportions look really nice, and you know, he does scale well with Gollum. And I'm gonna try to crack Aragorn out of the box later just to get him side by side. There is very subtle shading across his flesh or whatever, but there is enough there to make the sculpted details more pronounced, and you can see the cheekbones right there. Doesn't get any more Frodo Baggins than that. If we're going by the actor, of course, Elijah Wood, and I don't really think we have any other point of reference, let's be honest. The jacket has, you know, a nice amount of creasing to make it look somewhat realistic. Like I said, it's a soft rubbery material right here on the jacket, and even the scabbard does have nice detail work. There's a representation of metallic plates right there. Very nice sculpt and very nice paintwork. I love it. You can pull this out so that you can easily, yeah, it's just pegged right on there. You can easily remove the separate hilt piece for when you're having him wield the sword. So yeah, great look for Frodo Baggins for a 1/12 scale figure, that is, or I guess arguably 1/12 scale. SHF tends to be smaller than other figures out there. Those are Hobbit feet, no doubt. It's even got, you know, some paintwork to represent the hairiness of a Hobbit's foot. There you go. Then we've got Gollum. He's more of a posable statue than anything. Doesn't really do much. Let me just showcase his range of movement right now. He does have a dumbbell joint on the neck. It allows him to look up and down. Oh, just pop that back in. Shouldn't be a problem. And then side to side movement all the way around. Not even a separate lower neck joint right there. His arms have a fixed position. There's not an articulation point on the elbows or anything. Not even replaceable arms, so that's kind of sad, but for me this would suffice because I don't really have a lot of time to play with these figures anyway. I'm just gonna, you know, revisit them every once in a while, maybe slightly adjust their poses, but with Gollum there's really nothing much you can do other than accept the fact that he is just slightly posable. Yeah, in a permanent crouched position, and that's, you know, most of the time he's crouching anyway, so, you know, what can we do about that? And these are all the accessories that Frodo comes with. He's got an extra faceplate, and this one has a more worried look, if anything. He's got 2 sword-wielding hands. Those are done well enough. Then he's got the precious, the hand that holds the precious ring. The ring is on the palm of this hand. That is, yeah, there you go. Style pose hands. Nothing really special, but yeah, it adds more expressiveness to the character, depending on what you want to do with him. Different poses that you want to do with this Frodo figure. And I don't know if this counts, you know, the separate hilt piece for the sword. We've got 2 iterations of the same sword. The other one has the blue metallic paint to reflect when the sting reacts to the presence of orcs. But the way I would do it is I would just display both swords. Display him wielding both swords, because it's my action figure and I can do whatever I want. And you know, I think he looks cool wielding 2 swords, and Frodo needs to give himself an advantage, like an upper hand, given his small frame. So yeah, he's got this very nice cloth piece for the cloak. Around the neck he's got this emerald clip thingy to hold the cloak together around the neck, I think. I don't remember that minute detail, but yeah, it's wired along the seam, so you can do whatever you want with it in terms of where you want the thing to flow. Do some nuanced posing with that cloak, yeah, make it look really expressive. I think it looks cool, and it does get the job done. We'll see. Yeah, pop his head off, and then You insert the neck into that hole. They pop his head back on. Looks really good. For the purposes of demonstrating the articulation, I'm just gonna pull his hood down. It looks better that way, I think. So his head can move, can look down that much, which is good enough. Oh shit. Sorry, I almost cursed. Can look up, barely, but I think there are other things you can do, like bend his torso backwards. Yeah, I mean, there is enough movement there. Not impressive, but yeah, it's good enough for me. And then the shoulders. The arms do go out that far. Very nice butterfly joints. Works really well. I mean, granted that this is Frodo, he's not really a fighter type character. He does fight out of necessity though. I think that this figure offers enough range to put Frodo in all the different dynamic poses that you need to put him in. Doesn't really get the arms across, but it will do. And then we can turn the arm around just like that. No problem at all. And I do love the way they handle the joints. They're smooth and they're not loose and they're not too tight. It's the perfect balance. I wish that I wish that all of their figures were handled like this. Then we've got the elbow joints. Yeah, I don't know if it's not double jointed. It doesn't offer the best range, but you know what? I think that's a good enough range for what it is. Not gonna complain. You've got articulated wrists, of course. It's also a ball hinge joint, so you can do whatever you want with it. You can, reposition the way that the hinge is. Adjust the hand whichever way you want. And then for the torso, there is a bit of a restriction here because of the overlay, the jacket. But combining the articulation points between the lower and the upper abdominal joints, that's how much you can look. You can bend backward. Bending forward. Snap. I snapped his body, his upper body, but let me try to push it back in. There you go. Yeah, not the best range bending forward, but it's enough for Frodo, if you ask me. Let's see how the legs work. Yeah, you can just get the jacket out of the way, no problem, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't really get in the way. You can do full-on splits, and then yeah, there's a bit of a drop down right there. Not the worst. For a drop down joint, this isn't bad at all. I don't really know if it offers extra range. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I think it does. And then you can kick forward that much. Very nice kick forward. Wow. Kicking back, good enough. Slight gap between, the crotch piece and the thigh, but it's not bad at all. Yeah, there's a thigh swivel right there. And then his knees can bend backwards that much. It's the same setup with the shoulders. But yeah, I actually think that this works. This works just fine for me. Could be better, but for Frodo, yeah, I'm saying this over and over again, but there's enough movement going on. Then last but not the least, we're just gonna have to deal with the functional joint right here on the right leg. His foot can kick forward that much, kicking back, and then you've got a toe joint. It's kind of loose, but it's okay. I think it's necessary for a figure that's barefoot. And then you've got an ankle rocker right there. Works good enough, except for this one, obviously, because it's broken. I'm gonna have to wait for my replacement because other than the issue of the ankle joint, the other ankle joint being broken, it's a solid Frodo Baggins figure, and I'm excited to review Aragorn. There you go. Cool. And like I said earlier, I do have Aragorn right here. Excited to review this guy as well. Let me just take him out of the box to put him beside Frodo. There you go. He is much taller than Frodo, of course. The accuracy is there, and he is a large enough figure that you can put him together with other action figure lines like the Mafex and the Marvel Legends. He's slightly taller than Bully Maguire, so I think the accuracy is there. I love it. I think it's true 1/12 scale, by today's standards, that is. So what do I think about this Frodo Baggins figure with the Golem as an accessory? I think it's a good enough representation of the character, and if you can pick up a copy that doesn't have the same quality control issue as mine, then you're solid. As long as you're not paying more than $40 for this, because I personally didn't pay more than that. I think it's around 42 USD in today's conversion. You gotta do a bit of research, look for options, make comparisons before making that purchase, because these figures are expensive. Did I mention that I really love the art on the top of the box? It's the heroes of Middle-earth traversing a mountainous path to Mordor. It looks really cool. It's epic. It's legendary. I'm glad that I got this at a bargain price, relatively speaking, relative to its actual sticker price. I'll include some product shots towards the end, as I normally do. So yeah, please look out for the next video, because it will be featuring Aragorn. I hope I don't encounter any quality control issues with him. I'm looking forward to the future releases. I'm looking forward to get Legolas next. I can't remember if they already announced Gimli and Gandalf. I do hope that this line of LOTR figures will do well enough to motivate Bandai to release the whole roster of at least the Middle-earth heroes, and maybe some villains too, the Nazguls, and of course Sauron, and maybe even those Uruk-hais. That would be really nice. But I digress. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.